Dear students, you are going for the third test, which is called as situation reaction test. Now, this test is basically to identify your maturity, your intelligence, your attitude, your reactions to different situations, your wisdom, and many other qualities via the different situations, right? So, automatically in this test, there are 60 SRTs which are given to you. You are given a 30 minutes time to attempt all or as much as you can. So we have also done this, that we have given you 60 of them and given you 30 minutes for the same. Yes, to make sure that you don't have all of them in display, we have put one by one. You can click and the next one will come up. You can click spontaneously, you can click after a pause, but respond and write. This way, from your home itself, you'll be able to practice this SRT test. There you will have it in a sheet of paper and you'll have to write in another sheet of paper, writing fast. Don't miss the sequence, and in case you don't understand thing, please write the number of the same. Like you don't understand 5, so write 5, and then you write 6 and write the response. Don't mix the response, don't panic, do calmly, you'll do well. And what you got to do is, you should write a proper solution. You can use clause methods of writing. Clause means a set of words to express one response. If you have 2-3 responses, you can write. Generally, a suggestion that you should write into 1 to 2 lines so that you are able to respond to maximum. But it is not that important that you have to respond to all. It is important that you respond rightly. So best luck for this test. Do well. God bless you. Best luck.
SRT 1. Money was needed to meet the expenses of his sister's marriage. At the last moment his relatives refused. He will. SRT 2. He picked up a quarrel with one of his colleagues the previous day. But for some personal work he needs his help. He will. SRT 3. A terrorist hideout was to be robbed at midnight. He, as a leader of his group, will. SRT 4. On their way back from trekking, they lost their way and it was getting dark. He will. SRT 5. He has to reach his house urgently. But there was a traffic jam. He will. SRT 6. On returning to barracks from the firing range, he learnt that one of his colleagues had brought some live ammunition with him. He SRT 7. He was made in charge of looking after the unit garden, but he found other members were not cooperating. He will. SRT 8. He was going with one patrol party in border areas, but due to heavy snowfall tracks were not visible. He will. SRT 9. He saw a boy being swept away in the water and he did not know how to swim. He will. SRT 10. While his annual leave was coming to an end, he came to know that trains were cancelled due to Bharat Bandh. He will. SRT 11. He had some disputes with his uncle on property matters. He therefore will. SRT 12. On a Sunday afternoon, he is keen to stay at home and watch TV. Some of his friends suggested that they should go on a cycle trip to a lake which is about 15 kilometers away. It is likely to rain. He will. SRT 13. He wants to marry an educated girl from a middle-class family like theirs. His father, however, wants him to marry a rich businessman's only daughter who is very beautiful but has studied up to class 10th only. He will. SRT 14. He is alone at home with his younger brother in the evening hours. Other members of the family have gone to attend a marriage. One of his old friends turned up. He asked his younger brother to bring some sweets from the market. The brother refused, saying that he was going to play. He will. SRT 15. One day he had some bitter arguments with his brother, who is 1.5 years younger to him and studying in 11th class. The brother is not talking to him. He will. SRT 16. He was playing a hockey match and he was the captain. Because of partiality of the umpires on two occasions, two of his players walked out of the playground and refused to play. He will. SRT 17. He tried twice for SSB but failed. He will. SRT 18. He is the organizer of a charity show. A car had gone to bring the artist from the railway station, who were arriving from another city. The car was not back and it was getting late. The audience started shouting, "He will." SRT 19. He had arranged a drama. While the drama was in progress, the lights went off. The audience became restless and started making noise. Some demanded immediate refund of tickets. He will. SRT 20. He was trying to organize a drama for his school. The main artist refuses to take part unless his friend was also given an important role. He found that his friend was not suitable for any role. He will. SRT 21. He was in charge of distributing food in flood-affected villages. There was a great delay in the distribution of food. People were standing in long queues. They got agitated and started throwing stones on the organizers. He will. SRT 22. His class teacher wanted him along with other boys for additional classes at 5 p.m. on Saturday. His sports teacher also wanted him for a selection trial for the football team on the same date and time. He will. SRT 23. He was the monitor of class 9. The teacher of a particular period is absent. Students are making noise disturbing other classes. They are not in a mood to listen when asked to keep quiet. He will. SRT 24. He is the only son of his parents. He is keen to join the Air Force as a pilot. His parents violently disagree because of the risk involved. Moreover, his father wants him to join his well-established ready-made clothes business. He will. SRT 25. His friends observed that the maths teacher was partial, awarding marks to pupils of his community. They wanted him to accompany them to lead a protest delegation to the principal. He will. SRT 26. His neighbor came and complained that certain antisocial elements of the locality were harassing him under instructions from the landlord who is forcing him to vacate the house. He wanted his help. He will. SRT 27. He was traveling in a second-class compartment of a train at night. While coming back from the bathroom at 2 a.m., he noticed that a man wearing kurta and pajama was trying to open the door of the compartment. He had a suitcase in his hand. The train had slowed down, but there was no platform in sight. He will. SRT 28. He was traveling in the train. The TC came and asked a group of students to show their tickets. They said that they never purchased tickets and threatened the TC that if he tried to be strict with them, they would teach a lesson. He tried to reason with the students. They shouted at him, "You mind your business or else. He will." SRT 29. His final exam was to be held after 1 month. Some of his friends asked him that he should join them in sending a representation to the principal that the exam should be postponed by 2 months. He will. SRT 30. After his graduation in commerce, he has applied to over a dozen complaints for the job of a manager. He had recorded interview calls from 2 places but was not selected. His uncle wanted him to join his grocery shop. However, he was keen for a job in any firm. SRT 31. His best friend deceives him. He will. SRT 32. He comes across an unclaimed briefcase, and when he opens it to find identity, he finds a lot of money in it. He waits but nobody turns up. He will. SRT 33. Outside the SSB center, a young lady proposes to him to mate her. She is beautiful, but later he is shocked as she threatens to defame her in case he does not follow her instructions. He will. SRT 34. He has committed an unforgivable blunder, but nobody knows he will. SRT 35. Just before his marriage, a friend informs him that his would-be wife had a torrid affair with him. Friend. He will. SRT 36. He is given charge of a task which he is unaware of. He will. SRT 37. His father disowns him. He will. SRT 38. One day when he enters the college, his principal scolds him most severely, mistaking him as the trouble creator for yesterday's scandal. He will. SRT 39. He went to a fete along with his neighbor's boy of 3 years. He loses him. He will. SRT 40. He is the school captain. His juniors refuse to obey him. He will. SRT 41. While for an interview, he dirties his clothes as someone throws garbage on him. He has very little time in hand. He will. SRT 42. He doesn't know swimming and a boy is drowning and seeks help. He will. SRT 43. He is in love with a girl of his class. The girl also loves him. One day when he and she were sitting close to each other, the principal arrives, scolds him and threatens to take disciplinary action and also to call parents of both of them. He will. SRT 44. His senior scolds him for following wrong orders, whereas the truth is that the senior had changed orders. He will. SRT 45. He has organized in a massive way for an exhibition and an army show in the open ground. On the D-Day the clouds cover the sky. He will. SRT 46. His father, out of a misunderstanding, scolds him severely in front of all. He will. SRT 47. His opponent is a very shrewd person and sends him a message to have a friendly interaction. He will. SRT 48. A group of miscreant students oppose him and deny all his logical arguments. He will. SRT 49. His best teacher suddenly refuses to talk to him suddenly. He will. SRT 50. He is punished out of impartiality. He will. SRT 51. He is in a jungle and all alone he will. SRT 52. He is feeling very tired and he has an important task to do he will. SRT 53. He is publicly insulted for his mistake he will. SRT 54. He wins a lottery, he will. SRT 55. He is short of time and he has many tasks to do he will. SRT 56. He has to give a public speech on an important occasion, he will. SRT 57. His parents' 25th marriage anniversary is approaching he will. SRT 58. He was part of an accident where he survived and his friend died and he was the driver, he will. SRT 59. He has to organize an attack on terrorist camp. He will. SRT 60. He has committed a blunder but no one has noticed. If told the punishment is for sure, he will.
Dear students, you have given the SRT test and you must have checked now that you have attempted n number. You must have realized that your speed of reaction was slow, or you were writing incomplete, or you could not write very clearly. Now, this is something when you go back and revise, you will automatically improve your response. Anything which has been given in SRTs are from day-to-day circumstances which you can rightly understand if you have the right attitude. If you have some attitudinal problem, you will also be able to decode them. So rereading your own SRTs will give you a wonderful opportunity to looking into your own personality. Please don't dump your personality on others, and don't expect others to tell you. Many times when you do all this, you land up in a bad whirlpool where people make a fun of you. So if you just read these reactions and you think, are they appropriate, you can search the net. We already have a lot of solutions given in our different groups and different areas where sensibility is the key, common sense is the key, the logical is the key, and the solution is the key. Solution means the situation which is given should be amicably resolved. And that's exactly what they're looking at. They're looking at a very broad perspective, healthy perspective of solving things. Because when you become a leader and an armed forces officer, you are expected to do that. So if you read all of these SRTs properly, you'll come to know that you could have done better, or what you did was not appropriate, so you can correct. And keep doing all these different tests by your own self and you'll do wonders. Still you have a problem, you can go back to our sessions and understand what SRT is all about. Next, if you still have another problem, you can send us your assessment and we'll oblige you back. God bless you. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.